Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kickstart project with AZD Templates. This is a video series that we'll be doing to talk more about some solutions that we have for you that can help you get your project easily deployed on Microsoft Azure. Before that, let's do a quick round of introduction. My name is Julia. I work at Microsoft as a cloud advocate in the JavaScript team. And today I'm joined by Liam. Liam, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Hello, everybody. My name is Liam Hampton, and I am part of the developer tools advocacy team here at Microsoft. And they focus on all things from CLI toolsets like the AZD CLI we're talking about today to the Azure CLI, GitHub Copilot, VS Code, Visual Studio, you name it, all of the wonderful tools that you use to deploy applications and work with in your development lifecycle.
Fantastic. Sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. So this will be a short series with a set of videos that will be talking about an introduction to AZD, introduction to AZD templates, as Liam mentioned, some of the tools that you'll be using, as well as highlighting some of the templates that you can easily use for popular business use cases, just to easily get you from idea to implementation in almost no time. So I hope this sounds fascinating. I hope this will be amazing content for you. So stay tuned for a lot more videos that are to come soon. So with that, I see we have this awesome title here. We have AZD templates, we have AZD, but Liam, what really is AZD?
Good question. So AZD actually stands for the Azure Developer CLI, and it is a pragmatic tool or developer tool which we use as developers to get application code from our local machines to Azure in the cloud very quickly and very swiftly using one command. Well, I say one command, there's many commands, but there are pragmatic and developer-friendly commands like AZD up, for example, which will just encapsulate a whole bunch of cool stuff and enable you to deploy an application all within one context from your working environment. And you're going to see this in some of these videos that we've got coming up in this series. And I'm super excited to be here showing you and sharing the stage here with yourself, Julia.
Awesome. Liam, I think you got me at deploying and provisioning resources in one click. I think that's the full story for me. So that is AZD, the tool. What about AZD templates? You mentioned about a full application. So could you walk us through how these AZD templates work and what they are in the first place?
Absolutely. So we have a repository called Awesome AZD, and we also have a repository called the AI Template Gallery, which is a repository which is full of all these wonderful projects that both people at Microsoft and the community, because this is absolutely an open source project, allowing you to get hands-on with full end-to-end applications and allow you to deploy them using the AZD CLI. So a template, in essence, is an application code base with the infrastructure as code, whether it be Bicep or Terraform, because AZD does support both of them, alongside the application code inside the repository, whether it be Python, Java, or JavaScript, or .NET as well. So it depends what you're into or what you can code, but it supports a whole bunch of languages, and these templates are applications that you can deploy.
Fantastic. Sounds good so far. I'm really excited to see all this in action. But before that, what I'm going to do is let's back up a bit and just talk about the different struggles that we hear developers going through. What I've had so far is that as a developer, you are, in most cases, just given the responsibility to make a lot of decisions. So you need to decide which frameworks to use, which tools to use, which services to use. And in most cases, you're learning these services. Now, for a developer, sometimes that's not very exciting. You just want to write your code. You want to focus on writing the best code. But again, having to make all these two decisions can be too overwhelming. I think that's one of the key struggles that we've had from developers. Another struggle that I've had is that in real world, you're implementing solutions that are not just hello world solutions. But in most tutorials, in most quick starts, all these examples just leave it at hello world. So seeing that real world representation of how a full end-to-end system is implemented, I think there is some, we can do a better job at providing resources that can help developers and know how to integrate different services and not just stop at hello world examples. Again, I think this is a key piece of feedback that we've had. Another one that I've personally had is that it's quite difficult to discover the best practices, especially when working with services that you're not very much familiar with. So if you don't know so much about security, you may not really know how to best ensure that your code is the most secure that there is. And the last one, is the lack of repeatability. So I think developers are also struggling to reproduce the results of their code under different conditions and in different environments. So in some cases, you have a system working in one environment. So how do you actually consistently redeliver the same results in a different environment? So I think these are just some of the struggles that we've had, and I'm curious to see if AZD Templates would actually do something about this and help us overcome some of these struggles. So Liam, do you mind taking us through how AZD Templates can provide solutions for this?
Absolutely. So these templates have been vetted by us and the team here at Microsoft, and it basically allows us to skim through the kind of application that you are delivering, right? So let's just take the Hello World examples for an example here. Now, a lot of developers, if you're starting something, you start with the Hello World, which is amazing, and it's a really good way and a gateway to getting into coding and delivering an application. But what if you want to add an OpenAI service or an Azure OpenAI service, for that matter of fact, and maybe you want a database or have this delivered in an Azure container app? This is where you start to get a little bit confused, because you have to go through the portal and you'd need to do a lot of point and click and deploying and having everything in line, all your ducks in a row for you to be able to deploy that and have it all working. Once you have it working, then how do you keep it all together? How do you make sure that it's all stuck within the same context and little bits, and you're not getting config drift and things like that, right? So templates are a really good way to encapsulate that into one single application where everything is kept in context, from the infrastructure as code to the application code, all in the repository of your application. These examples go way beyond Hello World, and we have got full end-to-end AI applications that you can deliver and deploy in under 15 minutes. I think there's one which I play with quite regularly and I show, which is actually deliverable in under 5 minutes. So it's really, really interesting to see how and what you can deploy with AZD and these templates, and just go way beyond and get over that first hurdle of Hello World. It gives you a good platform and foundation to play with, and it just allows you to get going much quicker and get more of an insight into what an application actually looks like when deployed.
Mm-hmm. No, I really love everything that you've said. Something that I know most people have is like you're given an idea and you're told just implement a quick, proof of concept for this. And I think that's one of the use cases where you can really find these templates to be very helpful, because you just go on the template library and then look for something that's similar to what you're trying to implement, get it deployed, and then you can come in later and customize the project. So I think that's one of the quick wins that you can have by using these AZD templates. What do you think, Liam?
Absolutely. I see this actually being used quite often with startups. So if you're a startup and you're wanting to get going quickly, I see this as like a really good use case to get going quickly and have something deployed as an MVP. And you don't necessarily need to be super technical to really understand what's going on, because most of it's kind of done for you. And these templates allow you to just modify the foundations a little bit and massage it to what you actually need. So getting started quickly is certainly a really good use case for AZD. And I see this being with startups, with universities, in lectures and classes, things like that. That's really, really awesome. And it's good to see it being used in those aspects. But that's probably one of the most popular use cases I see of this.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned that it's being used in universities, because if you're like me, I think the best way to learn is by taking something and breaking it down. So in this case, you'd be taking a full end-to-end system, break it down, just get to see how the different pieces connect. And if you're going through like a tutorial or a course, if you learn about a new concept, you can just easily come in and see the code representation of what you're learning. So yeah, I think that's a really, really good use case. So where do we go to actually interact with these templates?
So we can go to Awesome AZD, which is a wonderful website, which has got the full end-to-end repository. And Awesome AZD allows you to search for the template. So if you look on the screen here, you can search for templates, you can go through and you can go down the filters by language, by technologies. Now, Awesome AZD encapsulates all of the templates that we have, which doesn't necessarily need to be AI applications, because we know that not every developer wants an AI application. They sometimes just want maybe a to-do list or a started with app service, for example. And on the flip side, we have the AI template gallery, which is a subset of templates, which is just solely focused on AI focused applications. So we've got two ways you can get involved and get your hands on these templates. And as you can see on the top right there, that's still on the screen, we have a button that says submit your template. Of course, this is open source. If you are a developer and you're creating a really cool application, I don't know, maybe it's just a little portfolio website, or maybe it's something really, really cool, which is an online chatbot. You can actually submit your own pull request and have that shareable. It's just an easy way for you to share it across and distribute it to other developers for usage. So this is how you can get hands-on with these two repositories.
Fantastic. I really love that. And I see that you can easily just get through the templates, get to work with different languages, different frameworks. I really love that about this particular platform. All right, Liam, I think that was a really nice overview of the template library. So in the upcoming videos, we're going to dive deeper into each of these templates. So we'll highlight most of the popular templates, the most popular business use cases, and show you exactly how you can get started with them. So stay tuned for more of these videos.
Absolutely. Looking really forward to this. Thank you, Julia, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you then. Bye.